Hello and welcome to another Arsecast Extra, as always, with James from Gunnerblog. James, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, man. How you doing?
I am all right, thank you very much. It's been a fairly quiet kind of an interlull so far, I think.
It feels, every year, feels like a betrayal, this one.
Yeah.
Like, the season comes around, you get all excited, you get invested, you get transfer deadline day and everything that entails. And you're like, great.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. And then it's like, no, full start.
Yeah.
We're going to go off and do some internationals now.
Yes. Yeah. There's little momentum until you get to about November, you know, when all the internationals.
Well, and November always goes well for us.
Yeah, it's our favourite month. Thing. Hey, we had a not to delve into the questions straight away, but I wasn't aware of this. Shirt Squad.
Oh, sorry, that's very loud.
That's okay. It's just everyone listening now thinking, is that my phone? Is that my...
Yeah, I know.
Ping.
We had this thing in England yesterday, which I'm guessing you didn't have, the phone alert thing.
Oh, do you know, I heard
about
about
this phenomenon?
I heard about it because it was on the news here, because they said that potentially people who live in the border counties in Ireland, counties, you know, around the north of Ireland, Northern Ireland, could potentially receive this text thing that was going on. But what was it? It was just like testing the emergency text system or something.
Yeah, my phone made a noise it has never made. Sort of like, ah! And,
sorry, I nearly fell off my
apologies.
fucking chair there.
Yeah. And then a message comes up that's like, this is an emergency, but it's not really an emergency. It's a pretending emergency.
Right.
Yeah. But some people didn't get it. And I don't know what that means. It means they've not been chosen to survive whatever crisis befalls.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess it does feel like the
really
sort of
say
thing.
What you're supposed to do, I don't think. I think it's just like, just panic stations, basically.
Yeah, I mean, what's it for? Like, a nuclear war has broken out. It's going to be terrible. This is just to let you know you're all going to die very shortly.
Yeah.
Just relax.
It's nice to let you know, I guess.
Yeah.
With a distressing tone accompanying it.
Yeah.
But anyway, we had that. So go on. You were saying.
I was saying about the interlulls. Shirt Squad on the Discord. He said next season, the September and October international break are merged together. Yet 5 weeks later, there's another international break in November. What's happening next year? Does that mean there's going to be a longer interlull in September where they're going to play like 4 games? Do you know about this?
Or are they kicking it further ahead because there's a World Cup that summer? Like, are they knocking it down the line into October?
Don't know.
I really don't know. How quickly could we find out? International break 2026.
I could have done this. I could have just Googled it. I'm just tired of like asking Google shit and it telling me wrong stuff.
I'm
with
on
its
Manchester
AI.
World. They'll know, won't they?
I mean, who could question the veracity of the information on Manchester World?
They'll play, yes. Countries will play up to 4 games during a prolonged break from September 21st to October the 6th. That is going to be some pretty bad podcasting.
Well, September 21st to October 6th is what? It's just over 2 weeks. So they're going to squeeze a load of games in, but that doesn't sound great either.
Good.
The managers will all be sitting at home shitting their pants about injuries and things.
Have you watched any football, Andrew? I have actually watched a fair bit because my wife and child are away.
Right. You have nothing else to do.
And so I feel like I need to make use of that liberty. So I've watched, over the weekend, I watched Arsenal women kick off the WSL season in style.
I watched some of that. I was out on Saturday and I came back in the 81st minute and it was 2-1. I turned it on and then within a couple of minutes, it was 4-1. They'd scored a couple of extra goals. So I'm taking a little bit of the credit for that. I know Bethany got the assists, but really it was to do with me clicking a button on my remote.
Wow. Well, it's Worth checking out if you haven't seen the game. Olivia Smith's debut goal.
What a goal! What a goal!
I can't think of many debut goals
Reyes.
quite like that. Reyes, yeah, I guess so. Although that wasn't his debut, was it? I think he scored an own goal against Middlesbrough on his debut.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That was his first goal rather than a goal on his debut, yeah.
But it's funny, I think maybe it was Art de Roche who was saying not only was it a sort of sensational debut goal, like it's a shot, she cuts inside and belts it into the top corner from, I don't know, 25 yards. He was kind of saying, when was the last time we saw a goal like that in open play at the Emirates Stadium? And I think that's a bloody good question.
Does he have the answer, or do I have to guess now?
I don't think there was a definitive answer given, certainly not in the sort of interactions that I watched. A few players a few responders shouted out, candidates who they remember scoring goals of that ilk. But, we all remember Declan Rice's wonder strikes as dead balls against Madrid. But someone just sort of cutting inside and smashing it into the top corner.
Yeah, that's a great question. Bukayo Saka, maybe. Bottom corner is not top corner.
You're thinking of Man United.
Yeah.
Where he skips in field and hits it at the bottom corner. I think that is probably the last one. And before that, there were a lot of people saying it's an Alexis goal.
Yeah, those are the kind of goals he scored, all right. Yeah.
But this was pretty special. So I watched that.
Okay.
And I watched the England game because there were 4 Arsenal players.
That's right. That's right. I did not watch that game.
No, well, lucky you. England have been pretty terrible under Thomas Tuchel, I have to say. Agent Tuchel. Working wonders. But yeah, we did get to see the sight of 4 Arsenal players in the national anthem in a row, which was quite sweet.
They were all beside each other, were they?
They were all beside each other. Noni Madueke, Miles, Eze and Declan Rice. Miles played at left back and did quite a good job of it, actually. Looked, I think, pretty sharp and even did a bit of overlapping and getting forward as if to say, are you watching, Mikel? I can do this too. Declan Rice scored.
I saw that. I did see the clip of the goal. I saw that. And then
Noni Madueke was probably England's best attacker on the day. Eze played as a number 10, a pure number 10, like in the middle of the pitch. Not a position I see him getting the chance to play a great deal at Arsenal. We don't really have it in our system. And it was interesting, Thomas Tuchel, he's quite like outspoken about the players after the game. Like he's not shy of sort of giving a bit of carrot as well as a bit of stick in his post-match interviews.
Right.
And he was quite interesting on Eze and Madueke.
We had a question about Madueke. About Tuchel, actually, from Danny Nick 8. He said, what are your thoughts on Tuchel's post-match comments following the England game? I thought it was refreshing to see he was very open and clear about things players did well and need to do better. Further to that, I thought his remarks about Madueke and that he can switch off defensively were quite interesting. So
yes. So he said, of Eze, he said he trained brilliantly in the build-up to the game, but felt that he didn't quite execute or perform at the level that he had produced in training. And I thought that was fair, actually. Like he had a couple of chances off cutbacks and stuff where he didn't strike the ball particularly cleanly. I think you'd expect him to do better in those situations. And on Madueke, who, bear in mind, is a player he's had at club level as well at Chelsea, he basically said, yeah, he was great, but he needs to stay concentrated. He says he can switch off sometimes in the counter pressing, and he needs to watch that. I'm sure it was sort of music to Mikel Arteta's ears, to be honest, because that's the kind of thing he'll be hot on as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But Tuchel clearly believes there's a lot there with Madueke. Like he's picked him pretty regularly for England on the left. He was playing on the right in this game because Bukayo Saka was out. But both Tuchel and Pochettino, from what I understand, and even Maresca, actually, all had this relationship with Madueke where they were they had that slight sort of paternal thing of they clearly believed in his talent, but there was always if you could only do this, if you could only... I think it's really interesting because you've got all these, well-respected, well-regarded coaches who clearly all see something in this player and think there's a lot of talent there, but they all have kind of taken this line of, he just needs to focus on this or he just needs to work on that. There's always something, there's a bit of a rub there. It's interesting because he's kind of, I guess, a bit of a rough diamond in that respect. A guy with bags of potential who I think people are waiting and hoping and thinking if he puts the pieces together and he gets his mind right to match his physical and technical gifts, he could be something quite special.
Okay. I just Googled Tuchel there in comments and found a little story about how he's had to apologise because he called Jude Bellingham's behaviour a bit repulsive on the pitch.
Yes,
on pitch. And then he said, I used this word unintentionally. There was no message, no hidden agenda. I understand it's my responsibility. I created the headlines. I'm sorry for the upset.
Yes, that was a misstep, shall we say. I think it was live on TalkSport as well.
Yes.
Unusually, I think he'd agreed to do like a live interview on TalkSport and accidentally called perhaps his best player repulsive. I did say he doesn't really pull his punches when discussing individuals.
Yeah,
he spoke about Miles as well, and I think this was in the build-up to the game.
He said he's a bastard.
Yeah, he said he sickens me. No, he said that he wanted to kind of show faith in him, like at the moment, despite the fact he wasn't playing for Arsenal. Having sort of brought him into the spotlight by blooding him with England and putting him in the team and exposing him to that, I think he felt a need to kind of maintain that continuity and support. And so I think that could be really, that must have been a big boost for a player who's probably, it would be odd if he's not feeling a little bit frustrated to have not been playing the Premier League. Yeah.
He hasn't been in the team, and Ricardo Calafiori has done really well. And since we last spoke, Arsenal have brought in another left-sided defender, somebody who can play at centre half.
Keeps happening, Andrew. Every time we turn our back,
there's a new left back. Yeah. I mean, it is a very interesting situation to think about and to consider, because of how good Lewis Skelly was last season and how much faith Arteta had in him. There were other options available to the manager last season. Even when Calafiori was absent, Tierney, we know, not necessarily his cup of tea. Zinchenko, again, not necessarily his cup of tea. But if in a big game you were looking at, do I need some experience here, or do I trust in the talent of Miles Lewis-Skelly? The answer was he trusted in the talent and the potential of Miles Lewis-Skelly and the character of Miles Lewis-Skelly. It's another test for him now, isn't it? Having broken through and having made his way to the England team, he's now got a scrap on his hands, which is no bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing per se, but it is an interesting one to consider.
Yeah, it is. And, I don't want to be a hypocrite because I do seem to recall that, there have been times in the last, 6 months or maybe more where I've been on this podcast saying, I don't think it'd be the worst thing for Miles's development for him to just, not even be out the team, but just have a period where he's maybe not quite in the spotlight so much.
Sure.
And actually, this may benefit him in the long term, and it might be a learning moment for him. And but yeah, it's going to be one to watch because we've now got 3 players competing for that position in the team.
Yeah.
And it's actually really hard to call. Like a mate of mine texted me this week who's not an Arsenal fan, and he was like, I'm doing my FPL team. Who's going to play the most games for Arsenal at right back and left back? And I was like,
good luck.
I've got no idea.
Yeah.
I've really got no idea. And, I think I'd maybe give a bit of an edge to Jurriën Timber at right back at the moment.
Because he's fit.
Just if I look, he's fit for a start and has been the more fit of the two players for the last 12 months. But a left back, if you're asking me to project forward and say, who's going to play the games at left back, given that one of the three has a really checkered injury record, the guy's currently in possession, one of them is a bit of an unknown quantity in that he's a brand new signing that we've never seen. I have got no idea. So yeah, I wasn't very helpful on that front.
But I
said go with White because I think he's the most attacking fullback. Although Jurriën Timber scored a brace the other day, so who knows?
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot when we actually had some football. Yeah.
Yeah. The only other bits of international I saw have been like, did you see any, or did you hear about the England under-19s game, England versus Spain, in which Max Dowman played?
I did hear about that. I read a piece actually in The Athletic this morning, and then I watched a compilation of Dowman's performance in that, which seemed to me primarily to be the Spanish number 16 booting him and fouling him at every opportunity without
I was going to say,
much
that
sanction.
highlight reel is just a succession of fouls, presumably.
It's
from Spain.
Yeah, it was quite the demonstration from 15-year-old Max Dowman.
If you are an Athletic subscriber, that's a good piece. Guillermo Rai went out to the game and he was kind of updating us on it because I don't think it was televised. He was just sort of dropping messages in the chat. And I just remember like going in there and seeing like Dowman's been fouled 7 times or something like that after about half an hour. It was kind of crazy. I mean, it was the only way in which they could live with him. Bear in mind, he's the youngest player on the pitch as well, 15-year-old under 19 level. I think he might have been the youngest player to represent England at that level.
And isn't
wins a penalty.
The left back guy? He's actually playing for Getafe and has played for them in La Liga this season. Isn't that right?
Very possibly. Not
sure. I'm sure that's what it said in the.
Sure,
that's what it said in the piece.
Wow. Well, I mean, yeah, it was quite extraordinary. Played off the right. Was thoroughly impressive, I gather. Spain were prepared for him, knew what he was about. There was a lot of fouling, and as seems to sort of be the case, a penalty. Invariably.
And this was a 3-3 draw, I think. The guy who was playing at left back, Da Vinci, and he's playing for Getafe. And this season, he has played 3 La Liga games, started all 3 at left back. So that's what he's up against. Even though it's under 19, he is playing against a guy who's 17 and who is playing first team football. I'm wondering
something really interesting. I was chatting to Guillermo afterwards, and he was just saying how although Max is kind of 4 years younger than the majority of those players, physically he doesn't look out of place at all. I know sometimes in the Premier League, maybe against 30-year-olds, inevitably there's going to be sort of physical challenges, but he does seem to be at under 19 level, like absolutely able to cut it. So that was quite exciting, and maybe a little bit of a sign of things to come. I mean, a player who plays in the way he does is always going to invite challenges, as we've seen with Bukayo Saka before. Yeah,
there was a question about penalties, actually. I think it was on Blue Sky. It was about Dowman and penalties. Let me see if I can find it. I probably can't. I can. Gina Lawless, at ginalawless.bsky.social. Max Dowman won another penalty at the weekend, this time for England under-19s. Critics say he knows how to get tripped up to win penalties. Do you think this is true? To my eyes, he's being targeted by defenders. And I wonder if we'll ever get to see the full extent of his skills on the pitch. You know, it's quick feet are the most difficult things to defend against, really, aren't they? You know, and he seems to have those in abundance.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, if I think about the penalties he's won so far for Arsenal in friendlies and in the Premier League, you know, I do think there's a bit of devilry in them, maybe. You know, a bit of craft, a bit of sort of consciousness of, I'm in the box now, and if a guy sticks his foot out and makes contact, I'm going to go down and I'm going to win that penalty.
You invite the challenge.
I think that is part of being an attacker, to be honest, at this point. I'm not going to be critical of him for that. And I think if he's going to get kicked for 90 minutes, if the little bit of revenge he exacts is to win a penalty, I think that's sort of fair enough. You know, what we say, we can't possibly accuse him of being soft or anything like it, because look at the treatment he's already getting at the age he's getting it. But you know, it might be something that's in the discourse around him. I mean, but there've been plenty of other players who've been specialists at winning penalties and whose reputation seems to have survived it. I mean, Jamie Vardy's the one I always think of. Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson.
Remember Andrew Johnson at Crystal Palace?
I wouldn't want Max Dowman's reputation to be, you know, aligned with Jamie Vardy, though. That's all I'm saying. I know what you're.
I think it. You know, he's on course for to make his own name.
He'll have his own.
He'll have such luminaries as Andrew Johnson.
Exactly. Max Dowman will have his own range of energy drinks rather than just quaffing Red Bull like Jamie Vardy.
I think that's fair. Yeah,
I'm sort of fascinated. Yeah, sorry, I'm sort of fascinated by the left back whose name is Da Vinci. David Cordon Mancha is his full name, commonly known as Da Vinci. Like, how does that?
That reminds me of like my friend Nick Chavarella, who, when he was about 12, went into school and said, "Just so you guys know, everyone started calling me Viper X." You know what I mean?
Viper X.
Yeah. Don't know if you've heard, but people just started calling me Viper X. So you might want to catch on.
Yeah, put that name in your phone book from now on.
Yeah, it feels like Da Vinci's done exactly that.
Yeah.
They're calling me Da Vinci, are they? It's not really short for anything. No, trust me.
Yeah, Da Vinci. I'm like a painter of the ball or something, you know.
Yeah, the genius.
Yeah.
From left back.
Anyway. Speaking of Spaniards, what about our friend Mikel Merino on the hattrick buzz? What would we call him?
Unbelievable.
What would we call him? El Sombrero? No, I don't know.
Absolutely incredible. I mean, it sort of reminds me of like in The Matrix, you know, when sort of Neo basically realizes that he can just control the code.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the goalkeeper isn't real, Mikel. Do you know what I mean? Do you want to wear the blue shirt or the red shirt? And he's just suddenly able to warp space and time to score goals. It is mad. I mean, because what strikes me about the goals he's scoring, I think I've only seen two from the other night, the first and the third, but like, it's the ease with which he's just sort of casually stroking the ball into the top corner from 30 yards out.
Well, I mean, the second goal, the one that you missed, is a right-footed finish. It's not dissimilar from the first in terms of where he takes it from, but it's just sort of like, you know, there could be like a funk soundtrack playing as the ball comes across him, and he's like, ding, 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 boop, there you go. Same with the right foot, and the third one, what a brilliant goal as well, curled it into the top corner, perhaps given a little bit too much time and space by the Turkish defence to pick his spot, but he picked his spot very, very well. And you know what's mad is, like, this is a guy who had, in his previous 30 appearances for Spain, 2 goals. And in his last 7 games has scored 6 times. And that sort of confidence he has had as a goal scorer from that period he played up front with us is clearly a part of that.
Yeah, he wasn't playing up front for Spain, was he? These goals from midfield.
I mean, he is only a DM, though, so let's give him a little bit more respect.
I don't know really where that came from, the idea that he's a DM. I mean, he's never really been a DM.
Well, the reason it became, or people talked about it, was because the Liverpool game and the way we approached the Liverpool game, and to sort of hammer home a point which nobody really made particularly well. It was like, well, he played a back 4 and 3 DMs, which is nonsense. Right. You know, it's not.
He's not
really,
a DM. He's just not a creator. You know,
no.
But he's a finisher, a pure finisher, Andrew.
He's unbelievable.
Why did we buy Gyökeres?
Waste of money.
When we had this in the locker.
All along.
Already.
All along.
Listen, I mean, obviously I know these were goals from midfield, but he is a really good finisher. And there was a point like towards the end of last season or across the summer when I heard quite a lot of people be like, well, as long as we don't have to see Mikel Merino up front again. I sort of heard that sentiment quite a lot. And I was always a bit like, I quite enjoyed Mikel Merino up front.
I mean,
like, it wasn't perfect, but
it wasn't terrible. But I think,
and he's very much the second choice striker right now in the squad for me. Like, if anything, touch wood, or if Gyökeres needs a rest, Merino's the next guy up for me.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, I think that sentiment is more about what it might do to our sort of all-round play. People are looking for improvements in our all-round play. And Merino, he's not going to run the channels like Gyökeres. You know, he can get on the end of things and he can finish, but I do think it is a little bit restrictive. But put him in the box, and if the ball breaks to him, I'm very happy for him to be there, because I do think he is a decent finisher. It seems off both feet and good in the air as well, you know? It's sort of like, again, go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, like, because it's funny, we're having this chat, like, he's not a DM, and I agree, he's not a DM. I'm not 100% sure what he is, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like I've got quite a good handle on what his attributes are. Like, he's good in the air, he's got a decent touch, arrives in the box, finishes, but I still slightly struggle to see like what the ideal fit for him is, particularly in our system. Yeah, I guess it's kind of that left 8 role, but it's never going to regularly be that as long as Declan Rice is at the club. Yeah.
And maybe even Eberechi as well, you know, when you're thinking about how you might line up. Maybe he's just like a sort of, what's the dude in cricket? What do they call the dude in cricket who can bat and bowl? All-rounder. Maybe he's just sort of an all-rounder.
He kind of is.
You know?
Yeah. He's sort of he's really a player who, like, this might sound incredibly basic, but it feels much more about, like, the zones that he can impact than the point on the pitch where you'd put him in a tactical diagram. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, he's a guy who has areas on the pitch where he can have tremendous impact, but like in general play doesn't always, to my mind, contribute a great deal. So he's a bit of a puzzle, but he's a very useful player to have in a squad, and has shown for Spain in the past that he can be a really impactful substitute as well. And I do wonder, is that something we'll see at Arsenal this season? Well, if you need a goal, he's another option, isn't he? So, a good interlull for him. Is that... Andrew,
go on.
Doorbell.
I know what to do.
Forgive me.
No problem.
gave up on that very quick, that guy. He was gone by the time I got there.
And that wasn't long. Normally what happens is you go to the door and you go, hello, and then you hear like, and then it's like, yeah, you could just leave it in the hole there. Thanks.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Yeah,
97% of all doorbell interruptions are just James telling the guy, yeah, you could just leave it in the front hole. That's fine.
It's people bringing my child back. Just leave it in the hole.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
I'll attend to it later.
He'll be grand.
No, but that time, silence. Sometimes what's happened is, this is gold. This is podcasting gold. Sometimes they've rung another flat and they've buzzed them in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or like they've just rung all the buzzers until somebody answered. So maybe I've been beaten to the punch by one of my own.
Maybe so.
Neighbours, who knows?
Yeah.
So we're talking about Mikel Merino, and then it felt like you were pivoting to something else.
It did, but I can't remember what it was.
That's fine. It's an interlull, no judgment.
I know what it was. Yeah. It's the story that everyone is talking about. Everyone.
Go on.
Martin Odegaard's new haircut.
I've not seen it, Andrew.
You've not seen it? Okay. Well, I'm going to
look it up.
I'll
you
send
find
you
a picture.
Yeah, I'll send you a picture. Hang on one second. I'll fire it through to you on the on WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been quite the story in Norway, let me tell you. Because one of their big publications, whose name I'm going to mispronounce completely, Dagbladet, Norwegian Dogblad, the sports people, have a whole story about how a stylist has responded to Martin Odegaard's new hairstyle. And they say, I think Martin Odegaard's hairdresser has been a little too eager with the scissors.
Well, listen.
I'll tell you, this is Google Translate, one of Norway's leading hairstylists, Cecily Krog, has seen the pictures of the new Odegaard. She is shocked by what she sees before the World Cup qualifier against Moldova on Tuesday. She says, apparently, toddler life is demanding. Don't know what that's got to do with anything. Perhaps it is less time in the bathroom that has ensured Odegaard has gone for a short hairstyle that requires minimal styling and with a skin fade that was ravaged in 2023. I think that must mean something else. The result is a little hard and angular. I think he suits a little more length. That gave it more softness in play, and he looked younger and more boyish. Maybe that's why he's gone for a tighter look now, to be a bit more menacing.
Yeah, it's a closer crop. That's for sure.
It is.
He's still got the beard, by the way. Beard, there's been a lot of queries of the beard.
It's not really what's the difference between some fluffy bits and a beard? Like a beard kind of has to cover your whole face, doesn't it? Really?
I guess.
I know you can have a goatee and what have you, but
yeah. The difference is if it's deliberate. I think.
Right.
I think this is deliberate.
I can't call it a beard though.
Okay.
It's not
facial hair.
It is some facial hair, but I don't think it qualifies under the beard convention of an actual.
We'll have to ask Andrew Allen.
Well, I think he would definitely. I think he would definitely say no. I'll ask him.
Okay.
I'll ask him now while we're talking.
I don't know. It is a bit more kind of militaristic, isn't it? It's like a bit more. I don't know. I'll be honest and say I'm finding it a struggle because he's had, as far as I can tell, basically the same hair since he joined us.
Yeah.
Sort of floppy hair, right?
Yeah.
And now he's got quite closely cropped hair.
It looks like a child cut it. Is that fair
you
or
know
unfair?
What? I mean, as someone with a toddler, maybe his hair looked quite tuggable, That can be a bit of a hazard. That's why I don't have a long flowing head of hair, Andrew. For fear my toddler should yank it. That alone is the reason.
That's the reason, yeah. That's the reason.
Wow, I can see why that would be big news in Norway.
Mm-hmm.
It's a statement. It's a haircut that says there's a new me in town.
Yeah.
My shoulder's feeling a bit better, and I'm ready to make some goals.
Do some goals. Do some assists.
That's what that haircut says to me. My shoulder's feeling a bit better, and I'm ready to do some goals.
Yeah. We'll see when they play Moldova. We'll see even more when we start playing again. You know.
That's true. I'm excited for that. That's Odegaard.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anyone else been busy on international duty?
I don't think so. Go on.
The Brazilian boys played. The two Gabriels.
Mm-hmm.
Magalhaes and Martinelli played, didn't they?
Martinelli played. Yeah, they're playing again. Are they playing tonight or tomorrow night?
Are they playing in Bolivia or something like that? At like mad altitude, or Peru or something? I see.
Let me see.
I don't know what the game is, but I remember someone told me it's like crazy altitude and poor oxygen levels or something.
Okay. I don't see that. It must be on Wednesday. So overnight Wednesday, Bolivia versus Brazil. Yeah.
That's sort of one of the nightmarish away games.
But also we've got to look out for the games of Ecuador now. Not just Brazil, because we've got an Ecuadorian.
That is true.
Yeah. Ecuador playing Argentina on the same night as Bolivia take on Brazil.
Wow.
So Hincapié could be up against a certain Lionel Messi.
So that's late Wednesday night, is it? Or that's late Tuesday night. Yes.
I have a beard update from Andrew Allen. I asked him, is Martin Odegaard's facial hair, does it qualify as a beard? And he said, if we're being generous, yes. We're very much goatee FC. Saliba, Mosquera, Hincapié, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly, Odegaard, Ethan Nwaneri, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli, Kai Havertz. He says it's an epidemic of goatiness. So there you go.
That's true. That had never occurred to me.
Goatee FC.
Do you think it's like, like in the old days, the captain used to decide if Arsenal wore short sleeves or long sleeves?
Yeah, he decides on what.
I think Martin Odegaard's decreed that they must all have goatees.
Yeah. Yeah, so there you go. I think it's generous. I do think Andrew is being a bit generous,
Yeah.
But look, maybe that's the best beard he can grow, and that's fine. He's trying, he's giving it his best shot, and that's all you can ask.
Yeah.
That's all you can ask.
He's a fair man,
Mm.
It's not always easy. Not everyone can be David Raya and get that sort of coverage.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Or Mikel Arteta. Mikel Arteta could grow a beard, couldn't he? Like a really big, proper... who was Popeye's enemy? Bluto, was that it? Was that his name? Brutus or Bluto?
Is this Brutus? Bluto.
Right. Yeah. He could grow a big fucking square Bluto beard, I think. Captain Haddock. He could be the Captain Haddock of Arsenal. And Martin Odegaard would be the Tintin, I guess, with his little wispy beard.
Now, I can't unsee it. Now that it's been pointed out to me that the entire Arsenal squad have got goatees. Maybe that's what's holding us back. That's the final piece of the jigsaw.
Yeah.
Full beards.
Full beards.
We got a lot done in the window, but we were missing some microblading or something to fill out these beards.
Yeah, a bit of Gillette action or Wilkinson sword. Not that we're giving preference to one particular brand of razor, especially not the one that's sponsored by the guy at Bayern Munich. They did come along at one point and say, like, will you run ads on the podcast for this particular, it's one of those send away and get the razors. And I think we did some with them before, or maybe a different one. But as soon as the Harry Kane thing came along, I was like, we can't do that. It's over. You had your brand, you were building it, and then now it's just forever associated with Harry Kane. So no, not possible.
See, that's why people respect you, Andrew. You're a man of great principles.
Exactly. Integrity all the way. What else was I going to say? I don't think there's anything else going on. in the interval.
No, I mean, I think we've done really well.
I think so too. We've solved the beard issue.
I don't want to pat myself on the back too much, but I think we've delved into the beard issue. We've explained that Mikel Merino is scoring goals because he's figured out that the world's just a matrix, and he's able to kind of get around it. Mm-hmm. So I think we're in a pretty good place.
I think so. And we can do some questions and stuff, right? That's how we're going to fill out the
all right, I'll do some questions. Why not?
We have questions and all kinds of things going on. Actually, we've get your spreadsheet out because we've got an important question to start.
Oh God, I feared this one.
I know, but we've got to. We've got to. What else can we do? We've got to own up to our whatever wrongness.
Stupidly, yet another year where we believed Arsenal would sell a player. Absolute idiots.
They had us. They had us last season and the season before and the season before. But it's like, come on, eventually we're going to do it. But seems not. So we will take a little break here and we will come back with your questions and more in part 2 right after this. Welcome back to the Arsecast Extra. This is part 2 of the show where we answer the questions that you send to us on Blue Sky at gunnerblog.bsky.social and at arseblog.com. Also on the Arseblog Discord chat server, which you get access to if you are an Arseblog member on Patreon. James, just before I get into that first question, I got a picture of Mikel Arteta. I put it into one of those apps, you know, that gives you like long hair or short hair or a beard. And here, I'm going to send you the picture of Mikel Arteta with what it says is a full beard, but I would say it's probably like 50% of where I envisaged the Arteta beard going. So there you go.
Look. Oh. I don't know what that noise was. Oh.
Oh, a beard.
I mean, it suits him. It does. I think it ages him quite a lot. What do you think?
I think it's because there's bits of grey in the beard. Like if that beard was as black as Satan's ring piece, you know, it would be maybe a more youthful looking beard. But it's flecked with grey, you know.
I think it's an option for him.
For sure.
He's always got like. Do you think that stubble that he has on a match day? Is that like from he shaved in the morning and it's like regrown quite quickly? Or do you think he's timing that? Do you think he's going, well, the game's on Tuesday, so I'll shave on Sunday. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, do the press conference on Friday.
Yeah. He feels like a man who would think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think as well because he has that very strong Mediterranean growth, doesn't he, you know?
Exactly.
Like he could shave in the morning. I imagine
within minutes, the stubble returns.
Yeah, it's just like in Terminator 2, you know, where he gets shot apart and then just sort of reconstitutes himself.
We'll have to ask Andrew Allen.
About which?
We'll have to ask Andrew.
About Terminator 2?
Everything to do with beards. He's a beard consultant. Terminator 2, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But
yeah, he is.
Are we going to put that picture?
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes. People can have a look at that picture in the show notes. See what they think of a bearded Mikel Arteta.
He looks sort of like a religious figure.
I was just going to say to you that like maybe in 10 years' time, you know, after a couple of years away from football management, having won everything with Arsenal and just sort of decided to go away for a couple of years, he comes back as a kind of leader of sorts, you know?
Guru.
A guru, exactly. A guru.
Cult leader.
Yeah.
I think he could pull that off, to be honest with you.
Some will say that he already has, James. But
yeah. Well.
Okay. Where is the question? I had it here.
No, we don't need to do it, Andrew.
We do. Jamie B says, it's the first pod since the transfer window closed. Who won the Arsecast summer transfer window prediction game? I don't know did we both lose? It's just a question of
I don't think it would be right for there to be a winner in this.
Shall
I go over what we predicted?
Yes, please.
just to run down the clock, if anything. So I don't know what we knew, but for ins, we both wrote Kepa 5 million. So I think we knew.
Yeah, I think it was probably more or less done at that point, yeah.
DM, Zubimendi 50. I had 55. Yeah, whatever. We knew it was going to be Zubimendi. Right. Here we go. So we both predicted a winger.
Mm-hmm.
I said it would be Antoine Semenyo for 55 million, was my sort of wild card.
Okay.
You went for
Nani
40
Madueke.
million on a 5'10" right-footed winger.
Well, I got that wrong.
Well,
he's 5'10".
How tall is Eze?
I don't know. How tall is...
He's about 6 foot, isn't he? 5'10", 5'11".
1.78 meters.
Neither of us called Madueke or Eze in here.
Eze is 5'8.39895", apparently.
Okay.
So
you did say a utility defender who will be 6'3" for 40 million. I don't know why you applied heights to everything.
I don't know either. What was going on that day?
A 40 million 6'3" defender. I mean, I guess that's Hincapié, isn't it? Or Mosquera. It's sort of a fusion of the two.
It is. And we got...
What we're learning is there were a lot more signings than we predicted. Basically,
Yeah.
for every signing we predicted, there were 2. I went for a DM who costs 15 million.
That's
I
not bad.
guess that's Norgard.
Yeah. That's Nurgle.
And you went for a young utility midfielder at 20 million. It didn't say how tall that person was, though, so we'll never know.
I think I said he was
And then
8'5". That's why the deal fell through. They couldn't find him.
Okay. They on Football Manager, put in all the criteria. Height, 8'5". No results.
No players found.
No deal. I went for Gyökeres as the 9.
Okay.
60 million.
That's about right.
ITK, I guess. You actually went for Watkins.
Right.
At 36.5.
Okay.
Anyway, so our totals, I think I'm right in saying, were almost identical. So yours was about 190 million, 191.5.
Okay.
And I think mine was about 190 million.
Okay.
So we were about, at least 70 million odd out on the spend?
Yep.
But actually, that's the bit where we did better. So on the sales, we both had Tavares for 10. I think that was an obligation. I think
Transfermarkt listed that as 5 million euros.
Yeah, that feels more reasonable, doesn't it? Realistic. We both had Marquinhos 3. Maybe that had been done.
I think so.
Then. We both had Zinchenko 10 million.
Okay, so that we were 10 million out there.
We must have been 10 million beers down at this point. Kivior 30 million you had.
Oh, that's
so you
close.
predicted Kivior to go. I don't think it'll get up to that figure, but
no, but it's
you're not miles out.
Yeah.
I thought that we would get £20 million for Reece Nelson. Define optimism.
I mean, that really is. I seem to remember, even at the time, feeling like that was...
You were taken aback. Well, you weren't. I mean, you went for 15 million yourself.
I'm a fucking idiot. Jesus. Okay.
To give us our flowers, we both said Carl Hayne loan. We both said Fabio Vieira loan.
Okay.
We knew ain't nobody buying Fabio Vieira.
Right.
You can talk about Stuttgart as much as you like. Ain't happening.
They had loads of money as well.
Unfortunately, yeah. We also said Sambi would be sold, which he was.
Mm-hmm. What did we say, figures-wise?
You went for 5 million.
Okay.
And I went for 8.
And transfer
now, it's my
market.
understanding that the reports in Germany are accurate, that he has gone for an initial fee of 300,000 euros. I think that can bump up a fair bit.
Like
if he wins the Ballon d'Or or something.
100%. We could get 100% more if he achieves everything. So a whole 600 grand.
If Hamburg win the Universal Championships, the Space World Cup. No, I think if he does well, there's like stuff in the deal where, it might be worth, I don't know, a couple of million euros or something.
Speaking of Fabio
Vieira, I genuinely don't know the figure.
Speaking of Fabio Vieira, though, he's another one who had a goatee and left.
So, but yeah, on the initial sales for Sambi, we were again a tad optimistic. So, you predicted us to bring in 73 million via sales in the transfer market.
Okay,
and I predicted 50 million.
Okay.
51 million, I think it was.
So you were a bit less wrong than I was.
Only a bit, yeah. So yeah, we both had the net spend pretty similar, sort of hovering around the 120 million mark.
Yeah.
So basically, Arsenal went a lot bigger than either of us anticipated.
Sure. And a lot lower than we anticipated as well on the sales front. Where it was
ever thus on the sales front.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I think that's sort of tells the story of the window in a way.
Yeah.
The club were really aggressive in the recruitment. I think surpassed most people's expectations.
But on
selling,
not great. I was sort of thinking at the end of the Arsecast on Friday. The way there's often a bit after the music, which sometimes you get a little flash of inspiration. Sometimes a really stupid idea occurs to you, and the idea that just popped into my head was Andrea Berta singing a song to the tune of Bella Ciao, but he was singing how much money he brought in for Arsenal by selling players. And it was £20, £20, £20. I didn't get far with it.
You've got to do it now, Andrew. Now that you've teased it.
I didn't get far with it, though.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
That is a shame. The time has been I would have taken that ball and run with it.
Yeah.
Be up on YouTube by the morning. But,
those days are gone.
Those days are over. I have to look too many people in the eye. But yeah, I think it is a bit disappointing about the sales. I'm sure you've done this on the pod to death, but particularly after we sort of took a step forward with it, didn't we, last year? Like last year, the idea that we're it's been terrible every year. It's not quite true. Like last year, we virtually broke even in the market. And sold a number of players for decent money. And I think a year on, some of those deals, for example, the Smith Rowe deal or the Eddie Nketiah deal, they look pretty decent. I think we did pretty well out of them. But yeah, a big backward step on that.
Yeah, front. I mean, listen, what I'd said about it was I recognize the fact you're not dealing in top quality merchandise, necessarily. But I still felt like some of those players we should have been able to extract a bit more value from some of those players.
Yeah.
It's
such a big problem. Yeah. So many of those players are so unreliable physically. Like Reece Nelson.
Yeah.
Can you buy Reece Nelson for 15 million, for 20 million? When you're not sure if he's going to be fit? Zinchenko, do you think he's going to be fit? Vieira's had injury problems. Sambi's had a ton of injury problems. I think that would have been a massive factor in the type of deal Hamburg have ended up being able to do. I think reliability and fitness will have been a big, big factor. Because Arsenal always crow about that. When they sign a player, they really recruit for availability, for players who are durable, who can play a lot of games. And that's not true with these guys.
No.
And everyone else is looking at it and thinking the same.
Yeah.
But there we go. So we don't know what Arsenal are going to do in the market, I guess, is the moral of that story.
No. But then years of being completely wrong with this stuff should have given us a clue. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, we know. I'm just telling the listener.
Okay.
They know too, I think.
I think they know.
They know by now.
After years of us getting it wrong, I think they know. Okay. Let's do some other questions, will we?
£20, £20.
You're going to be sitting there. Your wife and child are away. You're going to turn on the telly. Turn on the telly a bit later on, and you'll be like just watching something, and it fades into the background, and all you can hear is £20, £20, £20, pound. Out with the garage band. It'll be a fucking hit on Spotify in the morning.
Well, I've got a question. A transfer question.
Okay.
It's from Leo. And I don't know how to pronounce his second name. Henges? Don't know Leo, but I know Leo. Why did the club not move for Isak before Gyökeres? Did he have a preference for Liverpool? Did we not believe Newcastle would lower the fee? Did we make the assessment that 125 million is too big a risk for his injury record?
I don't fucking know. I've got no idea.
I mean, do you find it odd, Andrew? This is me now. This is not Leo. This is me.
Okay.
That, like, all the reporting, of which I was part, in which I
you perpetuated this stuff, yeah.
This idea that the club, particularly that Mikel kind of loved Isak above all others. Do you find it weird that, as far as we are aware, Arsenal never really aggressively pursued that in a summer where the player ultimately did move?
Do I find it weird? No, I mean, we don't know whether Arsenal made any kind of approach to Isak via his representatives or even to Newcastle to get the lay of the land. Maybe Newcastle said there's no way. Then perhaps there was an indication that Isak might be open to a move, because it does seem as if, that guy who spent all summer getting roasted, who works for the Telegraph, I think he had reported that...
Luke Edwards.
Yeah, Luke Edwards. He had reported, that as far back as April, there were concerns about Isak. And,
Isak's claimed as much, hasn't he? That he spoke to Newcastle about his desire to move on.
But maybe the fact that it had to play out the way it played out meant that Arsenal said, no, we can't get involved in a saga. And maybe the fact that it played out the way it played out suggests that Isak was focused on one club himself, right? Does it suggest that to you? Do you think that's the case? He didn't go on strike because he said, I'm going to go on strike and some good club will come in here and rescue me. He went on strike because he, knew Liverpool would do the deal and wanted him and had done all the background work and were prepared to let it go all the way until deadline day. And maybe if Arsenal knew even some of this, they said, listen, we can't fucking get involved in this. We had a conversation on this podcast about how we had to get the squad ready for the start of the season because of the fixture list and all that kind of stuff. And I think the distraction of the Isak situation going all the way to deadline day, I've heard people talk about it. I've heard people say, oh, maybe we should have stayed in for him, blah, blah, blah. But imagine if we'd been like, on deadline day and we don't know if it's going to happen or not, people would say this club is a shambles, they can't get their business done efficiently, etc., etc. So maybe Arsenal were slightly aware of that and made a conscious decision that, hey, we can go and get Gyökeres. Even that was not without its own hassle, right? Because of the situation with Sporting. And really should have been a fairly easy deal to do, all things considered, but was still a big hassle, still took a bit of time. And they said, you know what, if we buy Gyökeres and there's an opportunity to do something else, we have the budget to do that rather than spending it all on Isak and waiting until deadline day to get it all done. And as it turns out, we have Gyökeres and we have Eze. And I think as much as I really like Alexander Isak, I think for Arsenal, that's probably better.
Yeah, I think all that's fair. And I think probably a lot of it's true. I mean, I think Arsenal would definitely have made inquiries after Isak. Oh,
doorbell again. Double doorbell.
I'm almost inclined to not, if a neighbour's going to get it, they're going to get it. I'm going.
He's going to...
Go.
Maybe we won't do doorbell music here. Just live commentary.
Hello?
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 Nobody.
Okay, thanks, mate.
It's someone.
Yeah, just leave it downstairs. He's 2 now. He'll be fine. Hello?
Yeah, I didn't put any doorbell music in for this one, you know. We got the live doorbell experience right there, so it's fine.
Great.
He'll be fine. There's, plug sockets he can play with down there. It's good.
Listen, what were we talking about? Isak.
Isak, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure there was dialogue between Arsenal and, I don't know, Isak's representatives, certainly maybe with Newcastle. I mean, the missing piece that I don't know, and the one that you alluded to, is, was it always Liverpool for Isak? Is that the move he wanted?
Feels like it.
And would we have been wasting our time? I don't know. Possibly.
Newcastle probably would have preferred for Arsenal and Liverpool to at least have a battle, but this was only a one-way street kind of thing, so...
Yeah, and I do think Arsenal anticipated the fee ending up a little bit higher than it was. I think they were probably envisaging that it might get closer to the 150 mark.
Newcastle buckled.
It's obviously an extortionate amount of money, a huge amount of money, but I actually think Liverpool will look at 125 as the final figure that they paid and think, we did all right there. I think Arsenal as well... There are probably 2 other things against Alexander Isak. One is, as you mentioned, wanting to strengthen other areas of the squad. You could look at it and say, well, we got Eze and Gyökeres, for example. I mean, if you look at the signing of Madueke as well, we strengthened all 3 attacking positions, and maybe we wouldn't have been able to do that. It's not just the fee for Isak, it's the salary as well.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that degree of expenditure on one player. We just spoke about fitness and durability and all that sort of stuff. I think Arsenal might have had some hesitation putting all their eggs in a
slightly fragile Isak basket.
Yeah, fragile basket.
Did you see the picture of him in the gym?
No.
Liverpool posted a picture of Alexander Isak in the gym. And I looked at it and said, who is this stick man? He is like Mr. Ozempic.
Yeah, he's a slender man.
He's very, very slender. Very, very slender. In, direct contrast to our beefy, muscular Swedish centre forward. But, a good example that we all come in all shapes and sizes, He
needs to get on the Kai Havertz diet.
Which appears to be just putting his picture into ChatGPT. But anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be fascinating. Particularly, bloody hell, in Sweden, this must be some story. You've got the 2 Swedish star centre forwards at the 2 top contenders for the Premier League title, playing out in direct competition and stylistically quite opposed as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we shall see. But, yeah, I understand why people will ask the question, in a summer in which he moved, should Arsenal have been in the conversation? Ask us in May, I guess.
Yeah, or
ask
don't.
Us in May.
Or don't. You know, we're bound to have got it wrong, whatever happens. What about this one from Gallic Shrug, who says, do you think the new Puma ball is affecting the overall quality of the football we've seen in the Premier League this season? Apart from the complaints from goalkeepers about its unpredictability, I feel like I'm seeing a lot of overhit passes and long balls flying overheads and out of play. Or is this just confirmation bias and in fact there's no significant difference?
Yeah, I remember chatting to someone last season about this ball. Because I think it was used...
in the League Cup.
In the League Cup, yeah. I mean, as people associated with Arsenal, we always need to be careful talking about the ball. We never know when it's going to be kind of lifted out of context and, framed as excuse making.
Yes.
But I remember speaking to someone midway through last season, and they were saying the ball is mad. Like, it moves all over the place. It dips in an unexpected fashion. And actually, they said to me, this was a player who trained with it and played with it. They were like, I think we'll see some more long-range goals next season.
Right.
Because of the way this ball flies and moves. And they were like, that could be really exciting. You know, it could be a great thing for the league because some people feel the Premier League's become maybe a bit staid or a bit more tactical. And, we obviously saw Zoboslai's goal the other day. Yeah. But, maybe there is another side to it as well of players getting used to it and being a little bit...
It was interesting in the in pre-season that we played the Emirates Cup game and the other game with the Champions League ball and not the Puma ball. You would have thought if they were going to get used to it, getting used to the new ball for the Premier League season, you would use that. So I don't know if that's just a preference because it's a better ball. I think it probably is.
I would imagine they're training with it.
Sure, of course.
At London Colney.
I remember Adidas years ago sent me one of the official Champions League balls, the proper match ball,
Right.
And a proper match ball is like miles different from the replicas that you get in, JD Sports or whatever. Like these are incredible. The footballs are actually unbelievably good. You can feel the difference. They're so good they make you feel like you're better at football just by using one,
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
we were playing Tuesday night Astro football as we do, 11-a-side back in the day. Playing 11-a-side Astro. Pitch was behind a school not far from here. And I said, you know what, we should play with this ball. It's fucking brilliant. When will we ever get the chance to play with a ball this good again? 2 minutes in, one of the fucking defenders on the other team just lumps the ball over the cage, out of the cage and onto the fucking roof of the school. Bastard. I've never forgiven him. I don't know who he is to this day.
He's unforgivable.
Yeah.
Did he climb up and retrieve it?
No, it was like a 2-story fucking building. There was no getting up there. And it was in the evening. There was no janitor around to let us onto the roof. So it was just lost forever. Because of some fucking...
These pro footballers, they don't know how lucky they are.
Industrial centre half.
Rose Ed.
Yeah, exactly.
They just get chucked another one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what I would say about a ball is it's the same for everybody.
It's just a fucking ball.
It's just a fucking ball. No. It's keepers, I think, who complain most about these things. David Raya spoke about it when asked, didn't he? He didn't volunteer it. It was put to him, and he was naive enough to answer the question at face value.
Oh yes, he did. I didn't know. I didn't see that.
I think it was Sky, maybe after Liverpool. They stitched him up.
He said it's different to the Nike ball, so we just have to adapt to it. The grip is different, the kick is different, but it's the same for everybody. Even though this ball is a piece of absolute shit, and whoever designed it will burn in hell for the rest of eternity. I hate it. I hate Puma. I even hate big cats now because they remind me of Puma. Fuck Puma. What a bunch of wankers. But we always have to learn.
As I say, he was maybe a bit naive in that interview. He walked into that one. But, yeah, I'm fine with the ball. Listen, I genuinely am like, if it's going to mean a few more unexpected, exciting goals. Are they playing with it in the WSL as well?
I don't know.
Because obviously I spoke about that brilliant goal in our opening game.
WSL Ball 2025.
I don't know, I don't know what ball they're using. Mainly Nike balls are coming up, but I think they're old ones.
Yeah. I'll have a look while you think of a question.
Okay. Do you know what? I'm going to do better than think of one.
Okay.
I'm going to read one out that's been put forward by one of our listeners.
Wow. Okay, this is a real step forward.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had some questions I really enjoyed. Poorly Drawn Arsenal said, why didn't Merino score 3 at Anfield? Does he hate us?
I don't know.
Tekakila said, do you think Arsenal will consider selling one of their 100 million plus players come the end of the season? And if they do, will Merino choose Barcelona or Madrid?
I like this one as well from Libor. Hey guys, I looked in the mirror and suddenly realized that I look like Eric Ten Hag. What should I do?
Probably apply for some football manager jobs because he keeps being given them, despite all the evidence. Okay, I like this one. Master Johnbury. Why are we so obsessed with winning this season specifically? I agree we need to win soon, but we still have a pretty young squad, with Trossard, Norgard and Kepa the only players over 30 and Merino the only 29-year-old. Wow. None of these guys are first choice, so the squad should remain strong for years to come. So why are we so worried about this season being the one we get over the line?
Because we've come so close. 3 seasons. Well, not last season we didn't come close, but we finished second. Because we haven't won anything for 5 years. Because I think there's only so long you can go without winning something significant before questions get asked and maybe people lose faith with a manager or a coach, and that might include some of the players. So I think, I agree with that contention, by the way, generally speaking. This is a squad that's been built, with 1 or 2 exceptions, to go for the next 2, 3, 4 years. But I think what it's been built for is to win as much as possible in those 2, 3, 4 years, And the sooner we start doing that, the more likely we are to win other stuff as well. So that's where I am with it. I get it. And it's, as we said, I think maybe a few weeks ago, it really is all about the context of how this season plays out. Because you can be very good and do really, really well and still not win anything, on the last day of the season, or you lose in a final, and that doesn't undo everything that came before that. It doesn't mean you just ignore everything that came before that, but it is all about context. And I also think that, there is a media narrative as well, I think, that defines how quite a lot of people think, maybe not Arsenal fans, but external to that. And if Sky keeps saying it's now or never, it's win or bust, Arteta has to win this season or that's it. If they keep saying that, it just becomes accepted or the point of view that lots of people will have. They just sort of
they
parrot.
are saying it is the thing, isn't it? And
well, that's why it's like, who said, somebody wrote, I don't know who it was, whether it was one of the Guardian writers or whether it was somebody else, I can't quite remember at this point, but, about Arteta's approach at Anfield, and was he a bit cautious? I don't want to open that whole debate up again, but it was like, well, he played a back 4 and 3 DMs. And the amount of times I saw that parroted as part of the discussion of our performance at Anfield, was crazy. And it's not the case that we played with 3 DMs. We played with a back 4, of course, but, it's not like he played fucking, I don't know, Zubamendi 1 and Zubamendi 2, or 3, It's not that. That's not what we did. Was it to everyone's preference? No. But the fact that, it was said and then repeated and repeated and repeated, it just becomes fact in the minds of a lot of people, even if objectively it's not true. So that's another thing that we're sort of countering or trying to counter this season when it comes to actually winning something, which is, some people just being quiet for a while.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. The other thing I would say is and I'm happy to be sort of proven wrong on this, but where are the stories in football of a team that nearly made it, and then eventually won together, having stuck together for 8 years? Do you know what I mean? When does that happen? I feel like it doesn't happen because there are other forces at play.
Sure.
As you suggested, players lose faith, fans lose faith, players get older, decline, players move on, choose to go to other clubs. I think it would be almost unprecedented to not win this year and then do it in the next 3 years with the same group.
Sure.
That would to me would be a really surprising outcome, just because I don't think I've ever really seen it happen in football. When we think about football cycles, we tend to think in terms of about 5 years, right? For a team, for the lifespan of a team. And I know this team has been through dramatic evolution in a short space of time. But yeah, I think that's probably the reason it kind of feels like it's not true to say it's now or never, but it feels like it has been building to this point and beyond this as well. I suppose the other, I talked about players moving on, players leaving, fans losing faith in the manager as a risk, but the kind of mental fatigue of successive disappointments. I just fear could eventually tell,
I agree. There is pressure. Why don't we do a couple of fun ones to finish off? I thought this was quite a good one. Juron on the Discord says the quality and depth of the squad has been the best it's been in a long time, to the point where there have been mock-ups online of 2 starting 11s. Can you each build a team, starting 11 of current Arsenal players to play against each other and decide in the end which team will win? No duplicates, playground style picking.
Oh, I love it.
Right? So maybe you want to get the Arsenal squad list up, just to remind you of all of the players that we have. We're going to assume everybody is 100% fit, right?
Yeah.
And then we'll pitch our teams against each other. And as I am a magnanimous person of integrity, as we said earlier, I will allow you to have the first pick.
Wow.
Okay. So you can have first pick.
The first pick.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh. That's really hard,
They're all lined up in front of you. We're on the playground.
Yeah,
and they're all,
I know. I don't want to let any of them. I don't want to disappoint anyone.
They're all staring at you right now.
Yeah.
Going, who's he going to pick? Who's his first pick?
It's Bukayo Saka.
Okay. You've picked Saka.
It wasn't, It wasn't for a long time. It was somebody else, and I changed,
right at the death. Okay. So you've got Saka. Okay, I'm going to pick Saliba.
Okay.
Big Willie over here.
He was in my head. I'm going to pick Declan Rice.
Okay.
I nearly picked Declan Rice first, to be honest.
Right.
I just thought, I think Saka is the best attacker in that squad. I don't think there's another attacker with his output.
Okay.
Not trying to psych you out or anything.
I know. I'm going to pick... Jesus. It's a tough one, isn't it? I'm going to pick Eze.
Okay. I'm going to pick Gabriel.
Okay.
So at this stage, we'll wait for till you've done your pick, and then we'll explain where we're at. Pick number 3 for you. The Arsenal draft.
Zubamendi.
Okay. So you've gone Saliba, Eze, and Zubamendi.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone Saka, Rice, Gabriel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty happy with where I'm at currently. Right.
Okay.
I'm going David Raya.
Okay.
Just to explain my thinking, I've gone an attacker, a midfielder, a defender, and a goalkeeper now.
Yeah. I'm going to go Gyökeres.
Okay. Decent.
Mm-hmm.
Saliba's gone. Well, I have to go Havertz because I can't. I mean, obviously Merino's still up for grabs, but
Yeah.
I can't risk you getting Gyökeres and Havertz, so I'm going to go Havertz.
Okay. Odegaard for me.
Even with the new haircut?
Yeah. And the sort of dubious beard.
Yeah, okay. You're his manager now. You can demand he shaves the beard.
Uh-huh. That's true.
That's what managers can do. I think I need more in midfield. I really need more in midfield, actually. Because you've now got Eze, Odegaard, and Zubamendi.
Yeah.
And I've just got Declan Rice, which can be good, but
He might need a little help.
He might need a bit of help. I'm going to go for Ethan Ranieri, actually.
Okay.
I need some creativity in there.
All right. My next pick is Calafiori.
Nice pick.
Mm-hmm.
You've gone Calafiori. I will go with... I'm going to go Jurin Timber.
Okay. As a right back or a centre half?
Don't know yet.
Okay.
Depends what's available. But he's in the squad.
All right, then.
We'll speak about positions afterwards.
Right, then I'm going Ben White.
Okay. So, yeah, that's, tit for tat, isn't it?
Mm.
I don't know how good Nketiah is, to be honest. He must be pretty good.
I think he is good.
I've got Havertz and Saka. I need someone off the left. Am I getting a tune out on Martinelli? Oni Madueke. Bit of a toss-up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to go... Yeah, I'm going to go in Nketiah.
Okay. Right. Let me pick. Who am I going to pick? I'm going to pick Madueke.
Okay. Right. I need a midfielder, a defender, and a striker. I've gone for 4-3-3.
You've got a striker. You have Havertz already, remember?
Sorry, I mean an attacker.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Merino. Who's still up for grabs. Hat-trick hero. So that completes my midfield 3. Declan Rice is going to be the holding midfielder with Merino and Ranieri.
I've got Zubamendi as my holding midfielder with Eze and Odegaard.
Yeah, that's good. I'd say that's good.
I think
that's probably better than mine.
My next pick, I'm going to go with... I think I'll have to go with... Like everybody's fit, right? Everybody's 100% fit. Oh.
He's not going to bring Gabriel Jesus back from the dead.
I was just going to say, could I resurrect Jesus? Gabriel Jesus on the left for me.
Wow. I mean, I guess I did you a favour in a way by picking David Raya, because you never have to pick Kepa. Like, I'm not going to pick him. Do you know what I mean? You're not going to be like scrabbling around for time.
Nah.
That would really fuck with you if I'm like, on the left wing, I pick Kepa.
Yeah, that would actually.
What a
fuck
day
my
for Tommy
team up.
Setford.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I'm missing 2.
You're missing 2.
I've got 9 players. I am going to pick... I'm going to pick Mosquera.
Okay. And I'm going to
complete my back 4.
I'm
That's
going to
Timber, Mosquera, and Gabriel, and Hincapié at left back.
Right. I'll pick Lewis Skelly as completes my back 4, which is White, Calafiori, Saliba, and Lewis Skelly.
Okay.
So you've got one more.
I've got 1 pick left.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody's picked Max Dowman, which is obviously tempting. But I'm going to go with seniority.
Okay.
I am going to pick a left winger. It's between Trossard and Martinelli, isn't it? You've picked Madueke. Looking at the other qualities in the squad that I've got, I'm going to pick Martinelli.
Okay.
And you're going to pick Kepa, I guess.
I'm going to pick Kepa, yeah. So
I'll read you my team, front
Yep.
to back, right? And
Okay.
then you read yours. So I've got David Raya in goal.
Mm-hmm.
A back 4 of Timber, Mosquera, Gabriel, Hincapié.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very strong defensive unit, I think. As discussed, my midfield, Rice holding, Ranieri and Merino in front.
You can't have Rob Holding as
front.
well. I'm sorry.
Up front, Saka, Havertz, Martinelli.
Right. Okay, it's a good
Back
team.
to the old school. It's a good team. Let's hear yours.
So mine is Kepa in goal, back 4 of White, Calafiori, Saliba, and Lewis Skelly. Then in midfield, Zubimendi, Eze, and Odegaard, and a front 3 of Jesus, Madueke, and Gyökeres. So,
Yeah. I think you've got the best midfield, I think.
I think
for
so.
Sure.
I think so.
I personally, I know everyone sort of is not too keen on Gabby Martinelli at the moment. I feel like my front 3 is more of a banker than your front 3. But
I would say that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think the defences are
pretty even.
toss up. Yeah, I think that's reflective. I think that is probably the part of the squad where I feel we have the most reliable depth.
Yeah.
I think
so too.
But you know, this could change. Like at the end of this season. By the way, no place for Christian Norgard, no place for Leandro Trossard.
Well, we could have a sub each, I guess.
It's quite interesting. No place for Max Down. It's quite interesting to see which players don't get picked.
I was thinking about Trossard for the left, but I just thought that maybe Jesus with a bit of trickery and fully fit Gabriel Jesus. Let's reinforce that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I do like that idea. It's a wild card. It's a wild card pick.
Yeah, I'm going in on the attacking side of things. With my midfield. I think it's
that's a fun game. Guys, try it yourself
with your friends and family.
Yeah,
it's good.
All right, should we do the player ratings game and then get out?
Yeah, let's do that.
It's come via Critical T. Thank you, Critical T. This time we're looking at this season and last season. This
Okay.
season's only 3 games old. So. Player 1, 7 out of 10. Nice to see him make his debut at last. Won some duels.
So who did we have that didn't make their debut for ages?
You know what? I think that is a good clue, but the duels is the bigger clue for me. And it's interesting because I think it touches on how perception of this player has maybe changed a bit.
God. Merino, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because do you remember when he arrived? A, he got
right.
that shoulder injury.
Yep.
But B, he was the duel monster.
Mm.
That was what all the analytics guys were telling us, and all the focus was on winning duel. It was before he was a lethal goal scorer.
Yes, before his transformation.
So that was, the home game against PSG.
Okay, there you go.
2-0 in the autumn, whatever it was. Okay, player 2, 7 out of 10. Came on for ex-teammate, X the letter X, not a former teammate. Came on for teammate, did really well, wasn't flustered at all by opposition or opposition's ground. Promising.
So it's got to be an intimidating place to go. There aren't that many of those in the Newcastle, maybe, but then we didn't do that well at Newcastle last season.
Promising.
It's Max Dowman, is it? It's Max Dowman at Anfield this year, or Old Trafford. At Old Trafford, that's my guess. I think that's Max Dowman.
He didn't come on. He wasn't on the bench.
Well, then it's Liverpool.
I think it's going to be Miles last season against somebody. I don't know who. We're both wrong. Everyone's screaming the answer at home. It's Christian Mosquera.
Oh, okay. Shows how good my memory is that I can't remember a player rating from like
and
8 days
Dowman
ago.
Played at Old Trafford as well. Player 3, 6.5 out of 10. This player did this player things. So, for example, Saka did Saka things.
Ethan Waneri.
Moved the ball around, kept things ticking, but you can see he's got nothing running back towards goal. Took a whack from opposition player and came off late on.
Oh.
He's got nothing running back towards goal. Moved the ball around, kept things ticking.
It's gotta be.
Oh, I know who I think that is. Nothing running back towards goal.
What was that? No idea. What's your guess?
I wonder if it might be our former number 5, Thomas Partey, but I'm wrong. It's Jorginho, another departed defensive.
Yes.
At home to Brentford in a 1-1.
Okay.
That really could have been either for me.
I
although
think so.
Kept things ticking is a very Jorginho coded phrase.
That is true. That's true. I should have got that.
Player 4, 8.5 out of 10. Kept opposition player very humble. Enjoyed the bit when he refused to hand up, then told him to go get his boot. Ha.
It's either Gabriel or William Saliba, isn't it? With Holland.
Yeah, it's Gabriel.
Yeah.
5-1.
Yeah.
That was funny with the boot.
That was.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Last one, player 5, 9.5 out of 10.
Wow.
8, and it says 8, and then in capital letters, 8 key passes tonight. Glided around the pitch like he owned it, which he kind of does. Hates, insert opposition here.
I feel like the past tense of glide should be glowed. He glowed around the pitch.
Who's a glider?
Who glides?
In the squad? I feel like Odegaard's a glider.
When he's on it, yeah, he glides. He's a bit of a glider.
8 key passes. Glided around like he owned it. I feel like there's only so many players in the squad that could be.
I think it has to be Odegaard, but I can't remember what game that is.
Hates them. It was Martin Odegaard.
Who does he hate?
And he hates Chelsea.
Right.
Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0.
Oh, that was
the season before.
Yeah, that was the season. Yeah, it was when Havertz scored twice, right? So, yeah.
I think technically that we were told this season and last season. So
the whole thing is null and void now. Well done. It's been spoiled by a technicality. Oh well. Oh well.
That was the last ever player racing game. Thanks for nothing, Chris Goatees.
Yeah, man.
You betrayed us at the last.
All right, listen, I think we should get this out to everybody because it's time. I know it's an interlull, but it's probably a bit overdue. We will talk a bit later in the week as we get closer to the resumption of football at the weekend against Nottingham Forest. We'll have an Arsecast, we'll have a preview podcast, and then we're looking ahead to Champions League action, of course, next week in Bilbao, which will be a lot of fun, I think. So for now, thank you as always for listening. Really appreciate it as ever. Take it easy, and we will catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye.